It has been years since it snowed. Emma remembers testing a drift beside the back door with a 30-centimetre ruler, barely discovering the ground before its whole length disappeared. Those were the days. Those days. She thinks of Dylan and James's reception class nativity when she hears that. And it came to pass in those days. So began Dylan's part when he was narrator 1, years ago, perhaps even during the year of the snow. Emma doesn't remember what came next, but the way he said, "those days," seemed very knowing. Afterwards, they would say it when something went wrong. And it came to pass in those days that Dylan forgot his lunchbox, that Dylan had to stay in at break time, that Dylan's teachers sent another note home. And, as Emma waits for the stationary traffic to shift on this wet Saturday morning in December, she thinks, and it came to pass in those days that Emma went forth to town for some Christmas presents and, while walking past the war memorial, beheld a man pointing to heaven. The bus coughs, then it pulls away, and she can see him again. Yes, a prophet, she thinks. All he needs is a staff, and a robe of righteousness. Has she made that up? She doesn't think so. It's got a decidedly biblical ring. A sandwich board stands beside him, covered in a series of exclamations. Record rainfall every winter for years to come. British cities most threatened in Europe for flooding. Sea levels to rise by 1.2 metres. Climate change threatens future of golf. Too much information, Emma decides, and the exclamation marks are misjudged. He gestures right, the thrust of his hand pointing past the arcades and ice cream shops, beyond the carousel and Silcox Funland, over the hump of the Marine Way Bridge and onto the sea. She suspects he is talking about the tide. Last year, the sea occasionally burst over the wall and onto the road, as if it was playing peekaboo. Perhaps he is envisioning a stage beyond games, when the sea lifts its skirts, steps over the wall, and tramps along Marine Drive, when empty shells line the road like ears, listening for the next incursion, and the next. Meanwhile, in parks and play areas, puddles collecting in the grassy landing spots under climbing frames and swings are spilling into ponds. The fields beside parks and rugby and football pitches at the schools are newly formed lakes. Emma has seen ducks swimming on them. There is water everywhere and temperatures are mild, meaning the mosquito eggs that lie waiting in the moist, frequently flooded soil will survive the winter and wake when covered by spring and summer rains. Emma watches as people pass him. She has no idea whether he usually stands in front of the memorial on a Saturday morning, or if this is a one-off. She tries not to use her car where possible, which means she rarely shops in town. Someone stops to take his picture. He doesn't appear to mind, but he must. How could he not? The photograph will probably end up online, where he will be misunderstood. His clothes are wrong. The safety boots, combat-style trousers and checked shirt might look perfectly reasonable if he was, say, digging a trench or mowing a lawn. But here, in town, his clothes seem aggressively outdoorsy. He has the look of a professional protester, more firebrand than friend. And where is his coat? There is still so much to do. The food and the final presents, the wrapping, the decorations, and she needs to decide about a tree. Last year's repotted spruce sits on the patio in a horrible stasis. Her ministrations, she has fed it vodka, lemonade, and dissolved aspirin, have so far failed to either cure or kill it, and she won't buy a plastic tree or one that has been grown as part of a monocrop and sprayed with glyphosate. The spruce can have another week, she decides, not willing to write it off quite yet. The traffic moves again, and Emma waits a while longer, until she is convinced she has seen the worst of it. He is not frightening or accosting anyone. People are ignoring him with the equanimity they afford chuggers, Mormons, and big-issue vendors. Though it is hard to tell from this distance, she suspects he is shivering. Or maybe he's feverish with purpose, vitalized by an opportunity to alleviate some of his own fear by passing it on to other people. But that is just speculation, and can be put to one side in favour of what she knows. He is wet and cold. He is beset and troubled. His name is Chris, and he is her husband.